Word to the wise, don't do this shit in your own house. This is super stupid.
That's why he's doing it in my house.
Do it at a neighbor's house.
You have reached the voicemail box of...
You guys hear that, right? I mean, it's probably impossible not to hear. It's definitely overpowering it. It's coming from like this area, back left, and it's getting worse. So here's the symptoms, process of me trying to diagnose what the hell this is. I can definitely feel in the back end like a little bit of a, like a wobble. There's nothing in the front end, no steering wheel feel, it's more of like in the seat feel. So that usually means that it's coming from the back end. It sounds like it's coming from the back end. Tyson, what do you think? Probably a wheel bearing. It tends to speed up and stay the same like consistency. Basically as I'm going, as I'm slowing down, kind of hear it right now, but it's most noticeable at like 40 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm thinking wheel bearing. Could also be rotor, but these rotors are pretty new. They're not the most like expensive, amazing rotors. Maybe one of them could have warped a little bit, or problem with the axle, but I feel like with the axle I would be feeling it a little differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a new wheel bearing, probably go ahead and replace the hub as well. Roll down the window, see if you guys can hear it. It's almost like more difficult to hear with the window down because you're hearing more of the exhaust. See, that is like no throttle in neutral. Kind of hard to hear over Tyson. All right, let's order some parts. In the garage, that's the culprit. We're in Wes's garage again because can't work underneath it. Just need a bigger fucking garage.
Buy the other house across the street,
Ooh.
and then we'll have another garage.
That's a good idea.
It's too much wasted house space.
It's too much house, not enough garage.
Yeah.
Rent the
Too many
house,
bathrooms.
but we'll keep the garage.
Like Airbnb it, but like the garage is ours.
Yeah.
Like those
Oh, like
houses we heard at
the
that
place you
Airbnb.
went.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
couldn't get in the garage.
Maybe that's what they did.
Yeah.
Now I get it. So we're gonna get started on this thing. New premium axle. Track motive. Gasket maker, ultra black, oil resistant from Permatex, which we're gonna use on the diff. Some wheel bearings. Those are some hefty bearings. 2 of those, 1 for each side. New hub. Boop. Look a lot. So pretty. So I was on Amazon. I was gonna buy the axles, but I went to Rock Auto to double check the price. It's like $150 on Amazon for 2, or for the axles, wiper blades, filter, bulbs, and some other stuff, it was like $140 something shipped, which is awesome. So Rock Auto. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. The whole wheel is definitely like... Alright, let's turn it off. Let's take the wheel off and see if it's still doing the sound. Word to the wise, don't do this shit in your own house. This is super stupid.
That's why he's doing it in my house.
Do it at a neighbor's house. Do as we say, not as we do.
If you do, just make sure there's nothing in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, that's number 2. Remove the wheel. Let's see if it still makes a noise.
This side of the axle for sure. It sounds like it's coming right from that boot right
Yeah,
there.
that's exactly where I was hearing it from.
Yeah.
Good thing I bought new axles too. But we're just gonna go ahead and replace the hubs and the wheel bearings also, because
Why not?
why the fuck not? We're in here. Gonna get calipers off first, and then we're going to remove the rotor retention. Oh damn, that thing looks fucking rough. We should probably hit that with some PB. Actually, we should go ahead and hit everything with PB. So, you got some peanut butter here?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna hit everything with PB. And then this is a 30mm 12 point. which I didn't find at any stores, so link in description below. Nico, axle nut socket, 1/2 inch, 30mm, 12-point, chrome molybdenum steel.
Same thing they make pew pew barrels out of.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Some stuff for bearings. So bearing press and pullers. Links in description below, but they are beefy, so we should not hopefully have any issue. On that note, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead, throw these in the freezer, and we will throw the rest of it in the oven. Right down in here. You want to have it towards the edges just because it's a little colder. What that does is, since it's cold, it's going to cause the metal to contract a little bit, like just enough, since it's such a tight fit. And then whenever we go to basically press them in, we're going to take a torch and we'll heat up the metal getting pushed into so that it expands. Science. This little baby flood. It's super cool. Where's the PB? Oh my god, dude. Fuck.
Easy peasy.
All right, so in taking the 30mm 12-point off, we notice one of these is beveled on the backside, the other one's flat. So yeah, one's been replaced, but I mean, it has like 250,000 miles, so it's nothing is surprising me on this car at this point. Only the zip ties and twine holding it together. But shitbox. Whenever you order your new ones, you don't need to like unpeen these as you basically take it off. It should come off. It's only to keep it from backing off whenever you put it onto the new axles, which are going to go through the hub here. So at this point, we're going to take off the little retaining bolt for the rotor, which is a hex. All right, so this just in. Look at that. Fucking axle just pushes back. I don't think it'll pull that far back though.
About as compressed as it gets on this side. Can it go more from that side or no?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
That might need some peanut butter. Hey! Great success! Oh, just gonna pull it. Almost all the way out. Okay. That's the bad one. Good side.
Bad side.
Yeah. Confirmed problem.
Yeah. And then do that one real quick.
Balance that guy. I don't have to brace it. It's just like, oh yeah, I can do that.
So yeah, next up, unbolting these.
And bolting onto there.
And bolting onto the new baby. While we're in here, seeing where this fucking leak is coming from. In the rear diff. Alright, so, huge bitch. As expected. Hub is just straight fucking stuck in the knuckle. So, you guys can hear this thing sounds like shit. And it's got that play. So, we've been trying to get it out with a plethora of fucking tools. We've got pry bars, hammer, air hammer, we got PB blaster, which we fucking soaked it in, and it's just, shit will not come out.
Gonna try some fire.
Yeah. Can that just make it's kind of tighter?
The bolt is like this and the hole is like that. So they're trying to do that instead of being lined up.
Alright, so we're giving the hub a rest and we're on to the axle again, trying to get the end off of it that goes into the diff, and we got all fucking bolts out except one, so
Of course.
it won't, it's basically like rounded out, so we're gonna try and fucking hit it with the grinder, cut a slot in it to get it out with the fucking impact flathead.
Slotted.
Here. No.
Alright. No. That just immediately broke up. This is literally your one job.
Huge bitch.
Almost there we go. Up. I feel like that's moving.
Oh yeah, that's
Finally.
Bam, just like that, guys. We've got extended travel suspension for the Beamer. Check that shit out. We've been defeated for tonight, so we're wrapping it up, and we're going to continue tomorrow. This hub will not get out of the goddamn knuckle, so we're going to get a slide hammer and slide hammer that bitch while also air hammering. If that doesn't work, we're just going to fucking melt it, because if it's liquid, it can't be stuck, right? All right, see you tomorrow. You're sore from working on the ship box. So we're at Harbor Freight, eating breakfast of champions here. Welcome back to our nightmare. Shake weight time. Put the piece against the hub, just bolt it in, we tighten it down a little bit. All right.
I think so. Oh, that moved.
Oh my God, dude! 3 hits.
And they weren't even that hard of hits either.
Right.
Like,
dude, that just goes to show you, I mean, how much shit we went through yesterday, and you just get the right fucking tool. That's insane. How quick that came off. Look at this bearing though. That's fucked.
part of that might have been us too.
Probably. So at this point we're on to bearing removal. So you got this retaining ring. Need big needle nosers. Squeeze it together, pull it out, and then we'll be able to use the wheel bearing puller. Right.
One bearing, please.
Right. Alright, so we took half of the inner race. Alright, so we're getting the bearing out, and we are heating the inner part so that it will expand. And we've got the other bearing in the freezer, which we're going to pull out here shortly. So we're going to do this for a little bit. And then we got the same little puller, but we're just going to use it to press it in. Okay.
Sufficiently cold, being in there for like a whole day. Oh, too easy. Yeah.
All right, so check it out. Now that we've got the bearing in there, you guys remember this piece that goes into the rear diff, because we need to use this part on the new axle. Check us out. The bolt that was seized that we rounded out.
Finger tight.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yep, just like grabbed it and threaded it right out. Hooray, today doesn't hate us as much as yesterday did. This bottom part comes down, there's some grease in here, but we're assuming you gotta throw more grease in since they've sent us some. So you can go and cut that open and squeeze it in there like we're icing a cake. Feed me.
Ooh, Chipotle.
All right, so I'm under the car, upside down view. We've gone ahead and put the end of the axle into the diff, and then we're going to bring the axle through the knuckle, and then we're going to line it up here and then tighten the bolts. All right, we could easily edit this out, but we're just going to be honest with you guys. So it's going to be the same in terms of clearance. Actually, it might be a little better in terms of clearance if we go ahead and connect the part that goes into the diff to the axle. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So these. All right, we got those bolts through. They're really tight. They're like 50, 55 foot-pounds, which seems a bit excessive, especially for the fact that like the pieces that go between the bolts, it's like pushing them up. Service manual says like 80. There's no fucking way. Like you would snap those for sure. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing back in there, wander back around. All right, so we got a very frosty hub pressed into the knuckle now. I took it out of the freezer, didn't record it unfortunately. I took it out of the freezer. As soon as I touched it to the bearing, the inner race, it like immediately expanded and we couldn't get it out. So before it warmed up too much, we had to go ahead, we set up the bearing press to actually go against this. And since the retaining ring is on the inside of the bearing wouldn't pull this way. We supported the back of the bearing so the inner race wouldn't push, and then we pulled the hub basically into the inner race of the bearing. Yeah, hopefully it's making sense to you guys. So we got the hub in there. This is what a bearing is supposed to sound like.
Nothing.
Exactly. It sounds like nothing. It's what it's supposed to sound like. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the axle into the rear diff and pulled through the new shit. Alright guys, we got axle nut, torque to spec, brakes back on, suspension back in, everything is fucking bolted up, tightened down, got that to like 180. So now we just gotta get the wheel on and we should be able to drive it. Alright, so now, no movement, up and down, no movement, left to right. Oi! Back in the garage, working on the Beamer and replacing the end links on the back today. So there we go. Also, went ahead and purchased some new brake bleeder screws or bleeder valves. So I got some for the front and the rear, brand new, looking amazing. And since I was missing one lug, I managed to grab one lug, which should go here. Definitely heads up if you're doing this, hit it with some PB Blaster, like oversaturate it, let it soak. I used a 12 point instead of an open-ended wrench just to really like get it on there because it was kind of starting to round out. But hit it with some PB Blaster, used the 12 point, really got it seated down on there, and I've got this breaker bar as well. And so it's, luckily for me, it's starting to move. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get the other one unattached, and then it shouldn't have any tension. So let's go ahead and take this one off. There we go. Yeah, so now since both of them are disconnected, there's no tension, so I can pretty much swing these down out of the way. Success! Here's some fun updates. So I finally got clearance to be able to flip it around so I can get some more leverage and movement out of it. Listen to this. That is just so dry rotted. Wow. It looks like it's actually been spray painted or something. So there is a future replacement, but dude, that is so dry rotted. For sure a bit newer. Like this one's probably been replaced before. The rubber's in much better condition. And then this, I would assume, is OEM. That's the original. Man, that thing is fucking rough. I do need to take these parts off so I can pull them off and put them onto these, and then we'll get it swapped over. I think the recurring theme through this build has been like fix one thing and another thing goes wrong. Well, that's exactly what just happened. So whenever I was pulling the hanger for the exhaust, which is here, and it was hanging in that hole right there. So this bolt was basically just like spinning around as I was trying to get the nut off, and it just straight up pulled through the body. Yeah, new place to mount the exhaust hanger now. Looks like we do have a couple options. Stop swinging, bitch. So we got the old hangers here. Like I'm gonna have to basically cut this off probably, relocate it elsewhere. Yeah, there's a lot of movement. Definitely needs a hanger. So this anchor bolt ripped through the body with a underbody part right there. So keeping on the theme, fix one thing, another thing goes wrong. Basically it's to the point of putting the hardware on the new ones, but I am not gonna put this back on the car all super rusted, but the metal still looks good. I mean, it's not like super crusty, it's just like surface rust. So I'm definitely gonna try to get that off just so that I don't go bad like anytime soon. I could probably find some replacements, but I'm gonna replace the bolts as well, just because these are pretty rusty. The bolt and the nut that basically retains it to the little bracket here. So this was the one on the passenger side, and it's much better condition. It's still dry rotting, as you guys can see, the rubber's cracking there, but this one, bruh, super rough. So definitely a good thing to replace them in with the new, and gonna go ahead and get like a slap disc or wire wheel so I can clean these up, and then some high temp, like just black paint, buy some new bolts. So this one had the Torx bit worked in it to get it off, but it's definitely not the right stuff. So you want to use I want to say it's like grade 8, which is this. So I'm gonna get a couple more of these replacements in the proper length. This one was way too long, so get to go to the hardware store, my favorite place, hooray, and grab some supplies. So let's go ahead and head there, and we'll be right back. Whoa, new hardware. All right, so I got some new zinc bolts, well, zinc plated, and then instead of just the regular nuts, I got the nylon nuts. Also went ahead and sanded these down, hit them with a flat disc, and coated them in some VHT high temp paint. And then instead of reusing these rusty things, went ahead and got some nylon lock nuts as well for the tops of these. So these are basically M8 1.25 for these, and same for these bolts. So like that was a stock bolt. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble all this together. All right, there we go. Got them together. Real quick update on the exhaust hanger note. I used a riv nut, as you guys can see here. So basically, whenever I hang it back up now, be able to take this bolt, which is like a 10, and bolt it in. So riv nut saved the day. So I'm gonna go ahead, get linkage back in. Man, that looks so much better than what it was. That's the night and day. Get it back on here, and then bloop bloop. You guys know the drill. All right, so this is what I'm talking about with a little metal piece right here. Indexes. You can pretty much have it either side. So there's a hole on this side too if you want to index over there. There you go. That's that one installed. Let's go tighten the other one down. All right, switched over to the ratchet with the 12 point for a little bit more leverage, but that thing is all set up. So tightens with the nylock nut, and the on the back side, as you can see, that little piece of metal sticking up. So it is indexed. Dude, these lights are freaking amazing. So you've got 3 settings, and it also has a magnet built in, so you can pretty much put it wherever you want. Usually I'll just hang them here on the lift, so if I'm doing something like that, I can just reach over, grab real quick, and then it's just like click. So it's got high, low, and then this little front pointer light if you need to get into tight spaces. All right, there you go. That's installing the sway bar end links for the rear. I do have to go ahead and swap over the bleeder screws, so I'm gonna do that, but that's a separate video. All right, so we are back in the ship box, and listen. No more clunk, clunk, clunk sound. Let's get it up to speed. All right, there we go. That was the problem. It was a combination of the axle, so basically the end joint on the axle, and the bearing. No more clunk, 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 clunk. Awesome. So now I'm actually headed to German Autosport, because they're going to be doing some replacements on stuff that I don't have the tools for. Requires some very, very large presses. We're going to be basically replacing all of the rear bushings. So that should hopefully cause it to be quite a bit more smooth. There's a little bit of clunkiness. You know, bushings go bad. They're 30 years old, so yeah, big thanks to Wes for helping out on this install. I hope this is helpful for any of those of you guys out there that might be having similar issues with the vehicle. Smooth as glass now. This just feels really good. She runs great. But on to the next thing. Also, total transparency. So Amanda and I went to lunch afterwards, and the car, it was running so smooth it didn't have that clunk sound anymore. I didn't really realize how fast I was going, and I ended up getting pulled over. I was doing like 51 in a 35. So the cop was super cool though, and I told him, I was like, hey man, can I be totally honest with you? And he's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, I just fixed this car. I'm like, just fixed it. It doesn't have this clunk sound anymore like it used to. So it doesn't sound like it's going as fast as it is. And he was like, oh, so like you're excited that you got it back together? I'm like, yeah. And so he's like, okay. And so he ran my license and he gave me a warning, so it was super cool. Got pulled over immediately after replacing the rear axle, hub, and bearing. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, headed to German Autosport, gonna drop it off. They're gonna do some work to it. You guys be sure to check them out if you're in the Central Florida area, you need anything done to your German vehicle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon also so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!